I'm not going to go through details, just quickly go through, yeah, so that you get to know this in your practical later on. Okay, so for the common UI component in Android application development, in total, Android plays UI component into 8 main categories. The legacy contains the layout, list, view, and so on, which we can still use today. Okay? So today I'm just focusing on this sub-common use of UI components. To highlight to you under what circumstances we use this, and also what special care you need to make use of when we use this tab control. As a button, you have been using this in your Africa, be using layout, okay, or you just write code to generate it. So in general, I'd like to share with you just this. There are two ways of linking buttons to your command code. One way is using here, we define variables, and then you set the click listen. So this is the typical way. Another way of doing things is you can make use of an attribute called onClick. Okay, so this is defined in XML, and on click you define the name of the method you like to link to the button. Okay, so then in this case I have a function called send message, and it takes in an attribute of parameter of link. Okay, so there are two ways of doing it. One way is completely separate from the code. You define the variable, this one, define the variable, then you call the set on click listener. This is the first way. The second way is in the layout file, you define onClick attribute, you spell the name of the method that you like to be triggered when user press the button. Okay, both also work, but in your point of view, which one you think is easier? Is this easier? Just define onClick, or the previous one? Okay, maybe you get used to this way. Okay, as for this one, you define it during the design time. Okay, the method set message must first be available, then in your UI you define it. Okay, so for the first method, the binding of the button with the event handler is delayed until compilation time. Okay, so there is no right or wrong, both also work. Okay. As for text view, this is the main thing we capture input from the user, and extra care must be given for UI of mobile devices. One main difference between mobile devices and desktop application is the screen space and also the input device you have. Okay? In terms of screen size, mobile phone has limited screen space, although we see more and more models coming up with big screen. But comparatively, the screen size remains small, right? The second thing is about the keyboard layout. Mobile devices make use of on-screen keyboard, and usually, due to the limited screen space, the options are also available very limited. So one way we can help user to quickly input what they want to do is to arrange the input type. Okay? So this input type, for instance, example here, we said the text email address. So with this type specified here, the keyboard shows the alias sign here. Okay? This is email, so it's, instead of user making a switch to another layout, they can quickly access the alias sign. Okay, that is one way of helping them reduce input effort. So for the text field, we could also include in different type, example text, numbering, and also for. Okay, so number, depending on the input type we set, some allow decimal places, some allow plus and minus sign. Okay, as per font is just the font. Okay, so that is one way. We help. This one help user to reduce their input effort and also reduce your validation effort. As a developer, by specifying the data type you expect user to enter, you can eliminate some input error. For example, let's say you want user to enter age. Okay? And you know it is sure numbers. User can never enter any character. So if you set it as a number, there's no way the user can input non-numerical data. And so your input validation can be reduced focusing on what is the valid age range. You get it? Example, let's say you define F for EPF, and we know legally in Malaysia, if you, by the way, do you have an EPF account? Okay, let me ask you. I think most of you have gone through your diploma in industrial training, right? Did your company register you as an EPF account? No, alamak. No, part-time job, you can take it here, what? Huh? No, okay. It is your right to get EPF account. Actually, all company must register. Okay? Not only EPF, they must register for you also. Okay? The Social Security protection scheme. In case you accident during working hours, you are allowed to get certain compensation. Okay? Okay, come back here. So, example, the legal age of Malaysia to work is 16 years old and above. Okay? So, instead of writing not good to verify is the input is the number, now we focus on this valid range. 16 and above. Of course, retirement age 60. After 60, you still can work, but I've been told you no longer need to contribute to EPF. Something like that. Okay? But the trouble is not just in Malaysia, but the whole world, except those still underdeveloped countries, we are facing aging society, where we live longer, we produce less children, and so we lack of manpower to drive the economic growth. Okay, Malaysia is one, we are facing aging society already. Okay, another serious country is Korea, Japan, Taiwan, and Singapore. Singapore also. So according to the recent published birth rate of Singaporean is less than 1 now. So they produce very minimum. So Singapore very happy to welcome Malaysian. Correct? Singapore welcome you with open arms. Come, more Malaysia, come. Okay, but Malaysian, so we don't have manpower. So where are we getting our manpower from? From Bangladesh, from Indonesia, from Bangladesh. So that's other country. Okay, moving on. This one, detail, I talk about it. This one, I want to discuss much. Something I want to tell you is about this one. Okay, checkbox you know already. It is not new to you, right? Okay. In Android development, we can let the main class to handle all the events by putting this. So this is the one trigger that it said checkbox mean set a good listener to this. This means you ask the main class, I want you to handle the click left. Okay? So then the system will prompt you, do you want the main class to implement this interface? So anything appear here, these are called interface. Do you know interface? Yes, sir. Right? Interface, you know, right? Yes, sir. Yes. If you don't know, you come and ask me later on. I'll teach you Java programming. OP. So what happened then? After this main class having this interface called upgrade listener, then you would have a method that handle onClick. Okay, so this method onClick will respond to anything you click on the screen, it will respond to it. Okay? So anything, be it button, be it checkbox, be it radio button, anything you click, this method will run and then check, which asking, is the view is a checkbox or not? If yes, then we do something. Okay? That is for checkbox. The next one is radio button. Nothing special about it. I only want to tell you, for radio buttons, it is for you to put a group of mutually exclusive items in the list. Right? Among these two radio buttons, you can only pick one at a time. So, in order for them to behave as a group, you must put them in the radio group. That's it. Okay? If you put them as an independent object, it won't be a group. And so you can choose more than one item from this. Yeah. Okay, this is a radio group. Okay, as for radio group, they are all handled by one single event handler, such as this one. Okay, you can practice this later on during your practical. I don't want to talk much detail. The next one is spinner. Spinner is in other application, maybe you call it drop-down list. Okay, drop-down list. So what it does is it provides you a collection of items and you choose from the available list. Okay, that's it. So similar to the list view, a spinner requires an adapter to feed it with data. So we have an array adapter in between. The spinner will be fed with these string resources. So in your string XML file, you define string array and put in the list item, and then you feed it to the spinner. Okay? The connection is look like this. This is the scaling code. Okay, spinner, adapter, and then feed in. Don't worry about this code. It might not look something like what you know in Java. Okay. This one will create an instance of the adapter without giving it a name. Okay, this one, this is the class name. Create from the resources. This is the one we define in the string array file. And then anything you see that begins with an Android word. This one, anything you see with an Android word, meaning this is the system resources. Okay, system resources. It is the resources from the layout, and it is called simple spinner item. Okay, and what it does is to display a single item from this given array. Okay, and after creating this adapter, it will be passed in as a parameter. So this is the name of the parameter called adapter. Okay, this word adapter is the name of the instance of this parameter. And then we set the drop down view resources and other Android resources for spinner drop down. Then finally we set the adapter to see. Okay, I feel very tired reading this code. I'm sure you also feel tired. So I have no means of explaining this. It is for your own reference, and we will do more during practical. Then I have also dilemma. Some students say, hey sir, if you don't put code in my notes, how do I know? I cannot refer. Then I say, during practical. But then practical you also cannot remember. How? Sometimes in your practical you must open your previous practical, right? You refer to your previous work to continue. So what to do? Must do practice at home. Okay, must do practical at home. Okay, this one I don't talk about it. This one you can do practice on your own. Okay, test whether my quick run through of the code awake you or not. Better this way. Okay, look like a normal distribution to me. Question only, right? The total is 3 to 10. Okay. Are you done? Okay. Stop. Okay, stop. Someone still. Wait 5 minutes. Too long. I can 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, done. Okay, let's see. Question. So what is the important? Why it is important that you specify the input type of each type field, a text field in your app. Number one, to ease user input. Correct now? To reduce input error. Yes. To eliminate manual switch of virtual keyboard. Yes. So the answer is all of the above. Yeah, correct. Okay. Next. What is the purpose of the adapter for a spinner? Is it used to select one option from the list option? Is it to connect data source to a spinner? Group several items and display them in horizontal scrollable list. It display items in two-dimensional scroll. Is the data source. Okay. Last question. Which of the following statement is true about the radio class? The class is used to create bounty as a receive scope for a list or set of radio items. It is a two-state button that can either check or check. It provides a quick way to select one value from a list. Answer? The first one. Okay. It's the group itself. The rest are just for the individual radio. Okay? Let's see here. We got the correct score. Ini bahan 3 ya. Okay, I got 18. First 3. 4 CR. Be okay. What is it? Today I got a big one, so maybe can give one more. Second 3. Go WX. Go WX. One wicket. Okay, let's move on. Hey, this one's so pity, Just same about same time, You also, what's she wanting? Why? I got 12, please help me to count. Later, I know no money to give you. Okay, let's move on. Statistic is shown here now. Okay. Okay, let's move on. Okay, let's move on. The next thing I'd like to share with you are two modern UI methods. Okay, view. The first one is called view binding. So this view binding is the features allow you to more easily write code that interact with the view. So once your view binding is enabled in your module, it will generate a binding class values. So that's it. In the layout, you write your code, and when you enable, there is a class called binding class that keep monitoring what you have in the layout. Okay? So an instance of this binding class will contain a direct reference to everything in the layout. Okay? And each view that you have must have a unique ID so that you can refer to it during runtime. Okay? So, example, this is a traditional method. We have to declare the variable and then use the find view by ID method, right? To link the view to this variable. Okay? In the view binding method, all we need to do is in the build method script, we enable the view binding, we set to true. This is one way. Sorry, not one way, first step. And then, in your layout, you must provide them a unique ID. Okay? And with this, a class of binding class will be created and referred to this object. Okay? So given this layout file, let's say this file is called register activity. Okay? The system will then generate a class called register activity binding class view. Okay? Anything you change here, so long as you assign ID to each individual view, the register binding class will keep track of them. Okay? And so, when you write your code, instead of using find view by ID to refer to each view, all you need to do is you create an instance of the binding class, bind it to your set contents view function, okay? And then you can use the binding class to refer to the view. Okay? Do you get the idea? So no need to use find view by ID anymore. Just use the binding class. You put binding dot, then you see. Okay? You can practice this later in your lab. Okay? I have shown to some group and they find this is easier to run code. Okay? That is for view binding. So the effort now is you don't need to use the find view by ID. Okay? And that saves you a lot of coding. So here are the advantages of using view binding as compared to the traditional method. The first one is null setting. So for example, now since the view binding creates a direct reference to a view, there is no risk of null pointer exception due to an invalid view ID. Okay? No. So example, let's say in the layout, you have assigned an ID called name to this text view. Okay? But then, in your code later on, you declare a variable and you call find view by ID, but you put customer name instead. Okay? And this one, then you want to assign a name to it. So what will happen? If this is a traditional method, assume you have this customer name you define in another layout. Okay? The name is valid, but it is in another layout. But in your code, you put name. Your compiler will not detect this as an error. Okay? It's not an error, but when you find view by ID assigned to this text, the system will tell you, I cannot find customer name because it is not loaded into the memory. Okay? It cannot find it. So this code will cause error. Null pointer exception. Okay? The next advantage of view binding is type safety. So this view, and the view in each of the binding class has a type matching to the view it refers to in XML. So that means there's no risk of the class exception. So example, in the view itself, you have defined a button with this ID called button set. But in your code, you define it as a text view. Okay? But this one can cause runtime error also. The compiler will tell you, I cannot make the button do a text view. Okay? So that is the problem solved by view binding. Okay? I think some of you also make this error during web development. You accidentally name the layout as button. So during runtime, the compiler tell you that is a casting error. You try to convert a layout to a button. Okay? However, if you use the view binding, you don't have this problem. Okay? New question is binding. I don't have the thing, see? My QR code disappeared. Let me see. Oh, that is the one. Sorry, I don't have the QR code for you. So here, we are asked to comment. View binding is a better way to handle work with view both in terms of safety and speed. Comment on this. Do you need a demo? Okay, let me show you a demo. Let me create a new project here. Close first. So to begin with, I need to enable view binding. So tap here. Okay, this is the first step. In the build render script file, you must enable this. Okay, and after that, in your UI code, let's say here, I have one single text view only, and I assign it a proper name. Okay, I simply call it text view message. Sorry, the screen is very tiny. I can't see it. Okay, let me move on. Okay, when you enable the view binding, the compiler will need to download some file from the internet for it to work. Okay, let me download it. Sorry, my computer is up. Wait a minute. Okay, so all I need to do is code. So instead of using the set contents view R.A and RA, I just pass in the root of the binding class. And from this point onward, I can refer to all the UI components just using the binding class itself. Okay, so when I press the dot, I will be able to see my text view here. If you have images, button, everything will be listed here. And it also tells you what is the type associating with this thing. Okay, so there's no risk of you worrying. Are you referring to different, the wrong data, the wrong class? Okay. The computer not responding. It's not making me demo. Wait a minute. I think we call for a break. Okay, you take a break, generate the console code if you need that. Take a 5-minute break.
要等它出来先吗？还是说就直接可以？我其实不是可以的，它是可以它是真的。两个，可是我是正确的，是先交一个手上。
有，它是会比些。
做到哪里啊？我得做啊，做完了啊，要不了吧？我等一下。哦，手跟外面做已经做完了。刘文生。哦，大家做完了。
Sony XM4 XM4 买XM3 啊？我 XM4， 他们又说 XM5 要来洗，对啊，不是看你用处是什么，我可以讲不是传统的喝啦，如果你掺了很久啊，这里会开始痛。可是那开始，我买800，那是 offer 吗？Lazada 11，他们11是 technology 便宜那种。
You guys know marking your attendance. Yes, let's move on.
就是要一种。
Okay, let's continue. The next method that I'd like to share with you is called data binding. So this data binding is also an additional library allowing you to bind the I component in your layout to a data source in your app using the corrective format rather than using program. And this will make your program much simpler and easier to maintain later on. Okay? So from here, your data source can be linked to your program code. So you have defined layout, right? And your data source will be fit into layout during runtime. So the features is similar. In the build renders file, you add in this data binding equal to true. And you have a class. In this case, I have this class holding two values. One ID, and another one is a name. Okay, this class is just home data. And for the layout, I changed it. This is originally linear layout must be the root of file, but now it is replaced by layout tag. Okay, that is the minor change. So for transition, I show you the difference. From here, we move these two tags from the linear to this layout file. Okay? That is one change. You need to change the layout file by moving these two tags out and to the top. Okay? That is the second thing. And then, inside the layout tag, we declare additional tag for data. Here, we can give the data the name and where the data comes from. So this, the type is from the class we defined earlier. Okay, this class, user, is from the previous class. This class. Okay? And then, for each UI component, we define the text attribute in this case, referring to the variable we have declared earlier. So we have the ID, we have the name here. Okay, that is the preparation. Moving on, in the code later on, all you need to do is you declare an instance of the variable. In this case, I declare an instance of the class user and assign to the binding dot user. This user is referring to this variable. Okay, so here I define an instance of the class called user, in value, assign it to this. That's all you need to display output. Okay, you don't need to put text view dot text equal to something. No, just assign the value, and the system will show the output. Like that. Okay, I have one sample demo also, but I don't know. System not stable now. I'll upload to GitHub and then you download and take a look yourself. Okay? If I run this now, I don't know, the system just not stable. Okay? So that's what I want to share with you, two things. View binding and data binding. Okay? So I'd like to check with you whether you understand this or not, the view binding and the data binding.
就是还没有出来，他就打整个也是进化。
这地方还有什么？
Okay, finish. Okay, look, normal distribution to what is called zero.
What?
So difficult to get zero.
我上。
All wrong.
How?
Okay, you guys finish? Stop that. Small. Okay, count to 5. 4, 1, stop. Let's see that. So what is data binding prefer over conventional ways? Yes or the above. Simplify and support dynamic UI. Reduce boilerplate code, and your code is easier to read. Okay? Because all you need to do is you declare an instance of the data, assign it to the variable. That's all. Okay? You don't need to put .text equal to something. No need. Sorry? Boilerplate code. The file view by ID. The file view by ID. Your any text, text equal to something. Your reset button is just declare an empty variable will do. An empty object. Example, you want to clear the screen. Instead of text view message text equal to empty, any text text clear. You don't need to write any code, you just write finding user equal to user, and all the parameter you give it to empty. The screen will be clear. Just one line only. Instead of counting, that is the program method. Make sense? Okay? So among view binding and data binding, which method is easier to use? View binding is easier. Okay, because you just need to declare in the view vendor script, and then you declare a few variables, you can start using it. Okay? But for data binding, just now I mentioned there are many steps involved. You need to change the layout file, you need to create a class to represent the data, so there are more effort needed. And among view binding and data binding, which method is faster to compile? View binding also. Okay, because it's just the layout, you define ID. Compared to data binding, you must declare additional class, change the layout, so a lot of compilation required. Okay? And last one, which method is easier to maintain? Of course, data binding, because the code is very minimal. Okay? So, let's see here. Focus underscore is 4. Okay? BZH. BZH.
拍手拍手。
Also Chan Lek White.
看这块，哇，
Lek White. So who's the one who scored 0 ah?
老逼啊！ 哎呀
Ryan ah? Ryan the beauty.
Ryan.
Come I give you also. Ryan. So sorry, class very difficult. Okay, this is the last part of this chapter. Keep it short and sweet also. Star and tip is more about, it's not about cosmetic change. It's focusing on usability of the app. So in general, we try to apply a style of a theme to make sure your app is usable to the end user. Okay? Of course, sometimes as requested by the client, you are asked to apply certain style. Okay, to the UI. So the main difference of this is a style is applied to a single view, a collection of theme. A theme is a collection of style applied to the whole app. That is the main difference. Okay, I repeat. A style applied to a single view. A theme is a collection of style applied to the whole app. Okay, so you can have a style only focus on one single view. Maybe a label, an image, a button. But anything applied to a theme, it will affect your whole app. Okay, so that's it. How do we apply customization? You can apply any customization to your app by inserting style to your file called themes XML. Okay? But usually as a developer, we don't care much of the design because the design will be handled by another department. Okay? But let's say, unfortunately, you are the one-man king type of company. You are the only programmer there. So you sample everything. You are the programmer, you are the designer, you are the system everything possible, right? And the customer tell you, I want my app to look like that. This is my corporate color and I want it to look exactly the same. Okay, so you know where to look for the theme file. Okay, and inside the theme file, you will find a collection of style, each affecting maybe a single part of your app. So for instance, this one, custom action bar, it only affects the top part of the screen, the action bar. Okay? So it applies to application of a single screen. This is another one, and I say I want it to be the action bar background only. Okay, so that is for theme. And then to apply the theme, all you need to do is in the manifest file, then you specify the name here. So I have two examples here. The first one is an app compact, and this one is for light. Okay. That is for theme. The next one I'd like to share with you is about dark theme. So dark theme is considered not new anymore because this one Android 10. Now we already have Android 14 and 15 coming up. Okay? So what are the benefits of the dark theme actually? Is it just something you like? Or it has certain benefits? is the transition from LCD screen to AMOLED screen. Okay? Across the board, even low-end devices like recent Redmi Note 13 is an entry phone with AMOLED screen. Okay? Having AMOLED screen, the benefit is the screen can be, each pixel can be turned on and off completely. Right? So if you apply dark mode in that, those with AMOLED screen tend to have better power usage. So it's reduced power usage. Second, some users who have visual disability, they have hard time viewing bright screen, so they turn to dark mode, and so text will appear sharper to their eyes. Okay, so to improve visibility of text to certain group of users, that's why we use that. Okay, another one is, I don't know about you. Do you use your phone in a dark environment? Before bed. Okay. My brothers told me that recently he has trouble controlling his 2 young sons playing mobile game. So as a house rule, all the light in the house must be switched off at 11. So 11, he assumed everyone already sleep. Then one day he found out sunlight coming out from his son under the blanket. So he opened and see his 2 sons playing Mobile Legends. Okay, quietly, as an idol. So what happened? Actually, dark mode is easier to use in low light environments. Okay? So, if you were to allow dark mode, it's very easy. All you need to do is, in the theme, you define something called star, and then you set the parents to dark night or material component dark night. That is, and no coding required, just provide this theme in your code. Okay? And that's all. Okay. Last one for you. This one should be very easy, huh?
看到吗？有190个人呢，90个人呢。
What's so many scores 0 now?
他们全部已经找了，
有啊。
他们那是错，我们是自己。没有，我们自己
我换的。
没有认真上课。
Okay, majority of you got it right. Okay, stop. Let's stop now. Okay, stop. Let's see. Oh.
又是狗了。
Okay, it's very easy. A style is a collection of attributes specifying appearance of a single view. And the theme is a collection of attributes applied to the entire activity or view hierarchy. This view hierarchy refers to the layout. Okay? So 2 marks is the maximum, and I got 1. Okay, go on a bit next. How many I have? I think. Okay, if one more, 2S1. 2S1. Okay, I got 4 more. Maybe for the next one. Okay. This is the last one. Sorry, previously it was not. Jetpack Compose involves in data, but later on, Google decided to make it mainstream way of creating UI. And this trend is not applying to Android. It also applies to other platforms as well and development tools, such as from very beginnings, React Native create code and the UI using code. And then we also saw another change is the Flutter. Flutter also create UI solely using code. Okay, so the industry is moving toward this now. All UI related now using code, no more using layout. Okay, there is a reason behind this. According to study, they find out using code to describe the UI, performance is better. Okay, instead of loading the XML file, compile it, and then show it. Okay, so that is the reason why industry is moving toward describing UI using code. Okay. But the learning curve can be big for a newbie like us if you are started with programming. So if you do not see the UI, it can be quite challenging. Okay? But later on, and do you remember your first time creating HTML file? Do you remember your web page design? You write code to describe text boxes, label, button, and so on. It is just like that. Okay? And if you want to make the switch to use Compose, the material prepared by Google is well established already. Okay, good. So just a simple example for you here. So this is how we describe the UI. Example here, greeting is defined as composable and previewing. You can see compose is part of the you want to create the UI using code, and then you class it as text, and then you assign the text to it. Okay? I don't know, is any of your tutor use compose during the practical? Will they use compose? Some will say they want to use compose. Okay? So if you want to try, you can go. So that's all for today. This lecture class. Sorry, not today class. This chapter. Okay? It's still early now. 6:40. Go back already.
Thank you, class. That's all for today.
Huh? Seriously?
Thank you, class. That's all for today.
So fast ah.
有极客，极客，极客，
Can we spend another 10 minutes with you and then I will set you free? So sorry to hold you back.
上课，
Because just now, after finish my practical, the group of students came to me and said, Sir, can you teach faster? We want to learn immediately start assignment. Very pressure. Or, let's teach more. Yeah, let's do it. This lecture is focusing on user interface on navigation. Okay? So toward the end, you should know what are the good principles of supporting navigations and also making use of effective. So let's talk about navigation principle first. And this one you should apply in your week 6 assignment prototype presentation. We expect you to have good navigation. Huh? Okay? So there are few principles you must follow. These are the five. The first one is fixed start destination. Okay, I go each of these one by one. Huh? I don't want to read. Number one, fixed start destination. The fixed start destination means when the user navigates in your app, when they start from page A, then they move on to B, they go on to C. So every app you build has a fixed start destination, and the destination is also the last screen the user see when they return to the launcher after they press the back button. Okay, so they see now. So when they press back button, you must bring them back to B, and from B they press back, you bring them back to A. So that is what it means. Fixed start destination. It's the start. You see it. When they press back, you must see the same thing. Okay? When they see A, when they press back, what happens? You must close the app. Okay? This is just like when you go to someone's house, you enter through the main door, you go back also through the main door. Right? Okay, you cannot jump out of the windows. Huh? Next principle is navigation stack is represented as stack of destination. Okay? And this is also how Android system manage the app memory. Okay? The memory of an app also under the screen. So here, when you start, you first see A screen, and this is also maintained in the memory. When you navigate to B, A, although it's not visible, but still maintained in the memory. Right? Let's say you navigate further to screen C, both A and B still in the memory, although they are not visible. Okay? So when your app first launch, a new task is created for the user, and the app will display the new destination, and this becomes the base destination of what is known as the back stack. This is called a stack, right? Okay? So when user press back button, as a stack, you should pop the top one, right? Okay. You learn data structure, right? This is a stack. When you want to push, you push to the top. When you want to pop up, also pop from the top. Correct? Okay. So gradually, the system will remove the memory allocated to the you on top. The third principle is up and back are identical within your app task. So up button is shown on the top of the app. The back button is at the back, at the bottom of the screen. But nowadays, most phone has no more back this bottom navigation, right? No more, right? Or only uncle and auntie still keep this lah. So, sorry lah, if you have this still again, I'm calling you auntie. Sorry. Sorry, just your personal preference lah. No need to change your application. Because I noticed some still prefer this. Okay. Because when they first got the phone, the bottom navigation disappeared already and they don't know how to use it. Oh, okay, sorry. Okay, so but it says your up and the back button are identical within the task. Meaning you press this up button and this back button, they should both behave the same. Okay, they should both behave the same. So let's see one example. So let's say you are currently this stage. You're looking at part C of the screen. So the back button appears in the navigation bar. When you press back button, what happens? Your back button and the up button both also will bring you to B. Right? C is pop up, then you see B. You do the same, you press back button or up button, then you see A. Alright? By the time, can you imagine when you look at A, do you still see the up button? Do you see the up button? No. Okay, no. Because the first screen you never see the up button. Okay, but the back button is still there. Okay. So number 4, the up button never exceeds the left. Now the up button. So here, when you look at C, you press the up button, it brings you to B. You press up button again, it brings you to A. And then, as I mentioned earlier, when you look at A, the up button should no longer exist. No more up button. Right? The only thing is you can press the back button and it means to end up. Okay? You can only press the back. Then you go back to the start. Okay? Make sense to you? Number 5. Deep thinking stimulates manual navigation. So, it says the navigation design should simulate manual navigation. Example, from this app, the navigator from the main screen, you go to this page. Okay? As you click one of the items, then you show the details. So in this line, you enter to someone's house, you see the living room. Okay? And you now enter to one of the room, you see more details. Okay? So your design method must also fit the mental model of user, how they navigate in the natural world. Main door, living room, room. Okay? Now I test you. Not try. Oh, wait. Oh, okay. Someone already responded. Anyway.
I haven't scanned the QR yet.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. 第一个是不是过？第一个不是过，是死亡，是已经变成期待过的状况。看那个风帮他。他一个人就占了8个字。
Okay, that's two questions, please. And the response is very extreme, huh?